Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay.
Hey, it's Gabby the game night here, and I'm back playing some more. Apologies as to my busy, and it's October 8th, 9:38 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 6! Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy Wright. That's Wright with a W, but not a Wright, right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please?
Can you tell us if the microphone is set up correctly?
It is.
Good. I don't remember her voice.
I don't either.
So, I know I'll do it. I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm just letting you know that I don't remember her voice.
Look, the voices have never been consistent in this series.
I've tried to make them that way. It's not my fault you take big breaks. Good morning.
She speaks.
Oh, maybe she hasn't even talked
I don't
yet.
think she spoke before.
I could have gone anywhere with that, damn it.
I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty, you need to sell yourself, you know? Trucy, let's take it easy, for starters.
Thank you for taking my case.
Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. There she goes with the nail polish again. That's great, really, it's so cultured. Starts eating nail polish.
Want to try?
Ooh, really? Girls.
I love girls, 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 girls.
The victim, Drew Measham, was a forger. A stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. Now it's October 8th, 10 a.m. District Court, court number 3. Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Measham. Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking around all nervous like. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be fought for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever.
Today is the test of the jurist system, and the first step toward a new order in our courts.
Daddy, secret mission.
The jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will.
The jurist will function like a jury?
I picked up on that.
Who knew? Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom?
3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists, judge well and judge cool.
Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that.
Ah, my apologies, Herr Judge.
Judge, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind. The judges are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial of evidence, but by the feelings. But find out just what effect they're going to have.
So we're gonna have a jury and not bind them by the law of the land? Just come in and do whatever you feel like. Don't follow the rules or the laws. I mean... What?
I was stopping them from judging the complete opposite way.
Yeah, but technically you're supposed to follow the laws. You're supposed to judge within our laws. You don't bring people in just like, hey, whatever you feel like.
I don't know how it fucking works.
I mean...
I've never been there. I've never been there, done that.
Okay, but certainly you've seen a TV show of it, or a movie.
Not really.
And I know those are only somewhat accurate, but
Not
still...
really.
It's your voice.
I only play Phoenix Wright.
It's your... Yeah, don't learn law from Phoenix Wright. I'm sure there's videos online of real lawyers reacting to this bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, some shit is just because the difference between American and Japanese law.
A very small amount.
But not everything.
Some of it's just ridiculous.
Name an example right now. What's the most ridiculous thing you've seen?
Well, the jurist who don't have to follow the law of the land is pretty silly.
Well, Prosecutor Gabby, the details of the case, if you would.
The victim is the painter, Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio.
I'm sure that name is a pun, but I can't pick up on it. Drew Misham.
I don't know, maybe the sham, like, it's a sham.
Drew Misham.
He drew a sham, I don't know, he's a sham jar. I don't know.
Maybe.
His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask?
Me. I mean,
By none other than the defendant, Vera Misham.
Vera Misham. There wasn't any poison in the coffee, dumbass!
Achtung, someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
The mug? Ah, residue was found on the brim, I see.
The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death.
Damn, didn't have to present that evidence. The game's gonna play itself. The court accepts this as evidence. Autopsy report. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by ATROQUININE. ATROQUININE? Poisoning.
A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams.
That is tiny.
A touch of ATROQUININE in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, may present your witness.
I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety.
That journalist, no doubt. Who is this journalist, man?
The witness will state his name and occupation.
Oh yeah, this guy, you done his voice, I hate him.
Yeah, I can't remember how I did it, though. I know it was some kind of nerdy affectation, but...
Right. Well, for starters, my name's Sport Bristol. My job is a lone observer of the...
I'm just doing ultros now. I don't think that's how I did it.
I hate this man.
I guess it's what we're going with now, though.
So,
I did that part.
in other words, a freelance journalist, right?
And, if you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record.
Yes, Mr. Bristol?
I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to conclusions. Preconceptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote.
But you are a journalist. Said so yourself yesterday.
Well, that's true, yes.
Well, that's true, yes. I just feel like I know I was doing something different. Look, I've had COVID in the meantime, so maybe it's the brain fog, but... What you must understand, I stand before you today, a man with a dream. That feels more appropriate. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel. End quote.
Can we post this man? I'll tell you testimony then, shall we? A simple case, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. The jury is still out.
I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier. Journalistic history made. End quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. You know what happened next? Star falls. End quote. No one else entered the room beside her the whole time.
So obviously you poisoned. The end. That does sound like a simple case on us. You were the one who poisoned him!
What are you saying, Judge?
You know, I might the cameras are warning today. So they need to be a bit dramatic.
You didn't do it, did you? Anything like that? Come on, that's like... newsmaker making the news! End quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations, rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed.
Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please. Cross-examination. I... 9 at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview?
If the great painter Drew Masham says come at 9, believe you me, I go at 9. The first, and as it turned out, last interview with such a prolific painter.
Right, can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio?
Posterity will look back on this night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind. But a giant step for that Brushel guy. End quote. If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve the reason the deed was done by an insider.
By which you means Farrah did it.
So how did this epoch-making interview go?
Epoch! Chrono Trigger! Would you mind being a little more specific?
Hooey, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in the 3rd grade. No, oh wait, 4th grade.
That's not what I meant.
I believe I know what Herr Forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served.
Fuck off, enjoy time.
Did anyone other than the defendant touch it?
Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really.
Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you'd best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary. Write for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only write grade school level stuff, but...
Who touched the coffee?
Dunno. I was in the back looking at the studio's equipment when she served it. And what happened next?
What's this about star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money. Over.
Zowie! You don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it?
But there's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter?
Oh boy, this is good stuff. Good stuff. How about star break? Nah, lacks punch. I know. Star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies, straight to the point. I like it.
I'm not gonna hear about something a little more substantial. Precious coffee or the Starbucks coffee? Think about your coffee. So you drink coffee that Vera served, do you too?
Of course, when someone serves you coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never did get what he meant by it, though.
But you're still alive, which is to say you didn't die. But you're still alive, which is to say you didn't die. Good job, Paul.
Of course not. No point falling before you're a star. End quote.
That's not exactly what I was getting at.
What were you getting at then?
I don't know.
You know the poison was on the rim, not in the coffee. Oh, yes. There were 2 cups on the tray she brought. And one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side.
No sense the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess. Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important? I guess not. Also drink the coffee too. Well, please continue your testimony. Let me ask those other 2 questions. The stars coffee. You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world.
Yet?
I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mug, drinks, end quote.
That poison is quite virulent here.
My stomach did a so-called somersault, since I'd gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there, some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record?
Does this guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, you find the testimony valuable? No. No, I didn't. Okay. I'll pause a second. What Mr. Testimony pause? I don't know. No. I should probably actually look at my court record. Not at the moment of death. About when Mr. Misham passed away.
Oh boy, what a scene that was! He puts his coffee mug down with a crash, right?
Yes, and then?
Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and falls. So cold was that touch, he could do naught but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, Life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yeah, that's a go.
I think he's starting his article already. Can you describe that a lot more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist seizure is final performance. End quote. ATROQUININE paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches back like a bow. The limbs tremble. The throat burns.
That's quite enough of that. I'm going to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah, well I want details. Lots of juicy details. For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single. ATROQUININE, My Love by the Gabiners, available at all major music outlets.
The point is that the victim died of ATROQUININE poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how do you find that testimony? I don't fucking know, man. I'll say not important. Then bring a coffee that me and he fell over.
Oh yes, you can go to the press with that one.
Your Honor, there's a vile piece of information. Please add to the testimony. Well, the witness will add this to the testimony.
Vital, right.
He either took a sip or he didn't and fell over.
Yes, indubitably. Just like that. Wham bam.
So Mr. Misham drank the coffee and then fell over me. And then he brushed his tongue for two. Should I give him talk about something else? I don't. Form of testimony is already pretty obvious, is it? Did it take me that long to find that? You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used at ATROQUININE. Shut up. Oh, I'll do the more about, yeah. Particular Gabby was quite clear about the poison. Lethal dose of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drink that, you knew Mr. Justice would be reduced to a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There's a vital omission in Prosecutor Gallon's information. An omission? ATROQUININE.
ATROQUININE.
ATROQUININE. Why do I suddenly forget how to pronounce it? It's as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because ATROQUININE. ATROQUININE is slow acting. Slow acting? Where have we learned this? According to one forensic scientist. Oh, we learned this 53 weeks ago.
It's one of the most violent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly.
It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show.
If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why that contradicts the entire testimony you've just heard. Well, Mr. Brussel, anything to say on the record?
Slow acting. Slow act. It was virulent, alright. Even then, it had already begun digging its claws into the journalist.
He's working on a scoop. Objection.
It's Brushell, yeah? Herr Brushell, let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was a not-so-subliminal suggestion. End quote. I admit it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop! Scoop! Look, wait! Just wait a second! Just 1 second!
Everyone's saying this, he's manipulating the witness to say what he wants to say. Like, this camera's saying this. We're waiting, out of it.
I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote.
So, like, no one noticed that way. It's like, darn, you'll lose your exclusive scoop if that's true. Tony utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brussel, are you saying that you know something that explains what happened?
You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction. End quote, you might say.
Well, I still have no idea what you're talking about. End quote, I might say.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee.
Order, order, order!
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. Then Mr. Measham died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony. And my dream of exclusive rights to this story. Ah, I suppose it was too much to hope for.
What was?
Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him.
Him? Phoenix Wright, is it, Tony?
Phoenix Wright. Who else? Achtung, Herr Brussel. Report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed?
This court is a critical trial of the justice system, where no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. Witness testimony.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Measham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
A suicide note?
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote.
Suicide? Poor Mr. Measham. That means Vera's innocent. Someone commits suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, well, we know that's not true. Do we have the letter here? Well, no, this one. But this is the old one. From like 7 years ago. So he put the letter away when he saw you.
Our reporter gets warm. End quote. That's my secret.
Not sure I follow.
It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in.
Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really?
Mr. Meacham sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one.
Does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice? Wonder. Does have something important. Yeah, sure, add it to the first one. The Finn finds this testimony vital, Your Honor. Well, please add to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge.
I don't think I have a yellow envelope. I have a red envelope. And you saw him seal this yellow envelope with the letter?
Hey, don't look at me like that. I saw what I saw.
Paolo, I think this might be a big break, yeah. We need to show some decisive evidence now. So is that quote-unquote yellow envelope he's talking about actually the red envelope that isn't yellow at all? Red? As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope.
What?
Prosecutor Gabby.
Yes.
Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But, Herr Forehead, it's easy to mistake the color of an envelope.
Would you mistake ketchup and mustard? This shit red, not yellow. See, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Bushel?
I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get that letter in an envelope, pronto. Get it out of sight. Get it out of my sight of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away.
About the whole red and yellow envelope contradicts and chump. Well, Mr. Justice, have anything to say to the witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. No. I'm gonna say it's impossible, because it's impossible. This thing is closed, isn't it? That's impossible.
I like your expression, so full of confidence.
It's simple, really. As just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope, with the assistance of a forensic scientist.
What?
Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Meacham.
Oh!
Why do you address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself.
I've been scooped!
Michael Afton? Five Nights at Freddy? Order! 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 Mr. Bushel, can you explain this to the court?
Oh my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots, end quote.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Bushel.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put this letter in that envelope, Mr. Meacham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
His desk drawer?
Desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp! A so-called postage stamp! End quote!
A stamp? Whatever for?
For your mama? Well, to mail his letter, what else? And then, why yes, I think I saw him put it in this letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box.
Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to...
Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story. Story writes suicide note in front of reporter. Falls. End quote.
I was just saying, there's nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor? It makes me wonder about the contents of the red envelope. Let's see. When $100,000 is quite a good deal of money.
So, this was some 7 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing.
No. I hate to say what should be pretty obvious to anyone. When you cast the sound of a story, you make that, rather unique face.
Heck, come on! Attorney has active imagination. Little else. End quote. Oh, sick burn.
Even I know something and my eyes aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. I'm a Apollo of Justice, Agent Attorney. The next video game is me, the judge! Judge has active imagination. End quote. Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the sit of a story.
Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. Usually.
The scent of a story.
Actually, took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on that interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare.
So you went to go to the press with the story? That's how you got your interview? Blackmail?
Well, yeah, no, no. It wasn't exactly black. I'm not...
Something wrong, Mr. Marshall.
Look. This is my story, my tidbit. Journalism for his livelihood. End quote.
I see.
While you have me chatting away in here, what's going on out there? If some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story, they could be going to press while I'm going to waste.
God feels your pain, Mr. Brussel. Miss Justice, let's pick up the pace. Sudden case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? 7 years ago? A certain case? 7 years ago? I can perceive. No, you gotta actually see. That's like, oh, that's a little twitch.
Hey, wait, something just moved there.
Did something just move?
Something just changed. Hold on. I don't... Here, do it again. Watch, there's like a shadow or something. See?
What the fuck?
I don't know. I still have the other Joy-Con.
Oh, you're sweating. Oh, that's so annoying. Sweat much, Mr. Bushel?
Yeah, well, a man can't help his glands, you know?
It's more than that. When Mr. Measham's talent was mentioned, Sonny began to sweat buckets.
Ack! You're hiding... No.
You're hiding something about his talent.
No, you're hiding something.
No, you're hiding something.
That's ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
I just brushed my eyeball. Oh, I guess I'm
Ridiculous.
brushing my glasses lenses.
You're
This is still really
Evan's time.
weird and gross.
That's so Mr. Meesham's true talent lay. It just so happens I've evidence shown the talent and mentioned that letter. Probably forging. You have the...
Oh, we're playing together now?
Yeah.
What are we doing? The picture?
Probably the half-done one. I would assume.
Take that.
No, not that one. I'm stupid, apparently.
Hey, you told me to go there.
Maybe it's the original. I don't know. Fine, you go to the original. Or go to whichever one you think is correct.
So the first one I tried to go to? This one?
Fuck you. This painting was found in Mr. Meesham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. First is it wasn't painted by Mr. Meesham. Second is that there was another painting in the studio. It looks exactly like this one. Except it's only half done. Oh, but I can't present that one because fuck you. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000. Success's own business operation. The business of making forgeries. He then died like that.
Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay. Come on and watch her play. New games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.